What's up, YouTube? Doing a quick video on how to make changing your fuel pump on one of these old Fords a lot easier. You ain't got to drop the tank and you ain't got to pull the bed. So let me flip the camera around and show you how I do it. That's the quick fix right there. A boat hatch and a hole in your bed. As you can see, you got access directly to your fuel pump. Now for reference, before I get in here and give you all these measurements, this is an 88 F150 with the 5.0 and it has dual tanks. It's extended cab with the 6.5 foot bed. So if you got a single cab, it's probably, your fuel pump's probably gonna be in a different location. If you have just a single tank, it might be in a different location. If you got a long bed, it might be different. Any other configuration other than extended cab, 6.5 foot bed with dual tanks, your tank might be in a different location and your fuel pump might be in a different location. So don't be dumb like me and trust the internet and go cutting a hole in your bed floor without making sure this is the truck you got. So this is for 88 brick nose trucks. The bull noses probably are different. In the later years, the OBS arrow noses, this might be different for them as well. So I'm gonna say this just pertains to 88 brick nose era trucks. I was watching some videos on YouTube trying to figure out exactly where to cut a hole in my bed, and I got some misinformation from YouTube and the internet, and might have been partially my fault, but according to the guys on the internet, I was supposed to cut a hole back here like 13 inches from the front of the bed and like 5 ribs over or something like that. And so this was my original hole, and when I cut it out, I did not see no fuel pump. So after moving my hole back, I found the correct hole of where I was supposed to cut for this. So anyways, I got a much bigger hole than I wanted from the beginning. So I had to order a bigger hatch than I wanted. But if you do this correctly and measure correctly, you can use a hatch half this size or even smaller. You could even possibly use one of them little round hatches. But anyways, I'm gonna hop in here and give you guys some good measurements of exactly where you need to cut to access your fuel pump. And I'll throw some pictures in of some different hatches that you can use. That way, if your fuel pump ever goes back out, all you gotta do is just open it up and replace it. I use cheap fuel pumps. I've used factory OEM replacements. Honestly, they all go bad way quicker than they should. They just don't make these pumps like they used to. So rather than pulling the bed or dropping the tank every time one of these goes out, hey, if you got an old work truck or something, or just, you know, a rig that you don't mind putting a hole in the bed of the floor, this is the easiest route to go. Saves you a lot of time in the future if you ever gotta, you know, replace one of these pumps again. Let me get in here and give you guys some measurements. So from the front of your bed, the pump starts really about right at the front of the bed, but you want to leave about a 1 inch gap. That way you got something to screw your lid of your hatch to. And I would say the pump ends at about 5 inches, but I would come a little bit past that. That way you got some room. And then from the edge of the bed, 1 rib, 2 rib, 3 rib, 4 rib, 5 rib, 6 rib. So you need to come about 6 ribs over, or yeah, see if I can work this tape measure one-handed. about 32 inches. I'd come over, put your outside cut, and maybe 25 inches, your second cut. And that'll give you a nice square and plenty of room to access your pump. You can always go bigger or smaller, your choice, but that pump, the middle of that pump sits about 29 inches from the edge of your bed. So I hope that gives y'all a good reference. All right, I got my little Vanna White here, my little buddy. He's gonna demonstrate for us how this hatch works. So go ahead and show them how easy it is to change their fuel pump in the future. So let's imagine we're broke down on the side of the road, we're frustrated. We know it's a bad fuel pump. We're right down the street from AutoZone. We already bought a new one. Show them how easy it is to get to it. Oh, voila. Your fuel pump's right there. You can change it on the side of the road. Pair of pliers and a screwdriver. So, there you go, guys. Jace, appreciate it. Thank you. You can shut her back. There you go. Nice job. Thank you, sir. Just wanted to give you a little outside of the bed shot of it and what it looks like, the final product. If I hadn't have messed up my original cut and would have cut in the right place up towards the front of the bed, honestly, you probably wouldn't have hardly even been able to see this hatch if I would have went with a smaller one. But like I said, the measurements I got off the internet were wrong, probably for the wrong. The guy probably had a different year chuck than mine, or maybe he had a crew cab or whatever, and I just didn't think about that. Or, you know, earlier or later model, or he might have had just a single fuel tank, a lot of different variables, but this will apply if you want to put a hatch in your bed to access your fuel pump. The process is the same for all of them. Just make sure you cut your hole in the right spot. But you could even cut one back here to get to this rear tank, and you know, just have you a small little hatch right there. But I mean, honestly, it don't look too bad to me. You could rhino line this bed and it'd blend right in. If you had a black chuck, it'd blend right in. But like you can see, toolbox pretty much covers mine. Mine's a 24 by 14 inch hatch. So if you went with a much smaller one, it'd go right underneath that toolbox and you never see it. But anyways, guys, I hope this video helps y'all. Gives you a little idea on how to save your old rig and get her back on the road. If y'all like this video, hit that like button if you don't mind. This helps bring new viewers to the channel. And subscribe. That way you can come back and view other videos I got on these old rigs. And stay tuned with what we got coming in the future. There will be more videos and how-tos on OBS Fords, bullnose Fords, brick nose Fords, whatever you like to call these old girls. But I like to call them the best trucks ever made. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.